Hello and welcome to the Financial Fox, Finance, Investment and Crypto with a Twist. I'm your host, Steffy B. I'm the founder of PR company Cassiopeia Services, and every week I bring to you my favorite conversation with investment experts, market disruptors, movers and shakers, and the coolest project in crypto. Metaverse has become a buzzword after Facebook changed its company name to Meta last month, but still many people are trying to understand what Metaverse really is. Crypto projects working in the Metaverse has seen their token rising 100%, like the Sandbox and the Decentralized, just to mention a few of them, and many others gain real momentum. But today I want to go back to the basics and hopefully help you to understand more about the Metaverse and its connection with NFTs and DeFi. It might seem complicated, but hopefully not too much. So gamers are the pioneers of the Metaverse. And I'm sure that you have heard of Axie Infinity, which is one of the most popular play-to-earn games. So today I've invited on the show Jess Johnson, founder and CEO at Pixelcraft Studio and co-founder of community-owned blockchain game Aavegotchi. Hi Jess, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show. So first of all, do you want to explain what Aavegotchi is?
Sure. So Aavegotchi are NFTs that are mixed with DeFi. And that's kind of become like a catch-all phrase, but we were the first to do that a year ago, where we came out and really did it in a unique way that still I haven't seen replicated, where your Aavegotchi is this cute little ghost. It's an NFT. It has a personality, uniquely generated traits, but it also has Aave DeFi interest generating tokens staked inside of them. So it's like a piggy bank. Like your Aave ghost, your Aavegotchi ghost is literally earning a yield while you interact with it. And then to make it more interesting, we actually looked at the term of like a crypto pet, and we'd seen like crypto kitties and those kind of first gen crypto pets. And our original inspiration was, I think we can make a better crypto pet, because they sit in my wallet and I don't really interact with them unless I'm showing them like to a friend, explaining what an NFT is. So we said, well, what would you do if it was a real pet? You would interact with it. So with an Aavegotchi, you actually can do a on-chain transaction to pet it, to change its clothes, to equip game items. And every time you do that, it's recognized by the smart contract, and there's a score that goes up or down depending on how often you interact with your Aavegotchi. So we call that the kinship score. And it's actually like when you get a brand new newborn Aavegotchi, it starts at 50. If you neglect it for 24 hours, it drops to 49. But if you pet it, it'll go back to 50. And if you pet it again, 51, 52. And there's a leaderboard for this, of course. And if you climb our leaderboards, you'll actually farm our native ghost token simply for interacting and treating your NFTs well. So if you're buying it new clothes, if you can't afford that, but you want to pet it, if you want to vote in our DAO and earn XP, those are all different leaderboards that you can climb and actually earn ghost tokens just for participating in the Aavegotchi universe.
Fantastic. So it is kind of like a play to earn a game at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think of the Aavegotchi itself as like an intrinsic game. And what I mean by that is the NFT itself is playable. If you know how you interact with that single NFT, your Aavegotchi is a game in and of itself. And then what we had in the original white paper and what we're getting ready to launch now is the kind of extrinsic game, which is the Gotchiverse. And this is the outside game that your gotchis can go into and play and explore. And it's more like an RPG, more like a Legend of Zelda, but with cute ghosts.
And recently you had an auction for some piece of land, which I got a really small one, but it was quite exciting. I think another one is coming up.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm glad you got one. They were hard to get. So we did our first distribution of Gotchiverse land, a couple of weeks ago, I guess. And it's a distribution because the first half is an auction. And then after the auction, we follow it up with a lottery, a raffle. And that's actually for people who have staked their ghost tokens. They can earn our friends points. These are loyalty points. If you earn enough, you get these lotto tickets, you have a chance to actually win our NFTs. So you can farm NFTs by simply staking the token. So it's a distribution. And the fun part is the auction for sure. It's like kind of mayhem for 3 days. And we do December 2nd to December 5th is the second of 3 major land distributions before the alpha of the Gotchiverse game goes live. It's looking like it will be either at the very end of this year or in January, kind of depending on some important audits. So.
Fantastic. So if people would like to resell their Aavegotchi or resell the land, you have a bazaar. Can you explain a little bit how it works?
Yeah, and the bazaar is bazaar. So if you don't mind, I'll share my screen and we can look at what we're talking about. This is our NFT marketplace. This is Aavegotchi.com, and I'm going to click play. And then right here, you'll see the Aavegotchi Baazaar. And this is our dedicated NFT marketplace, completely on-chain, just like Aavegotchi's. And you can come here if you're looking to get started. All you need, the entire economy runs on our GHST Ghost token. And other than that, you can get anything you want. There's all these different Aavegotchis. It's a P2P marketplace. So people in the community are selling these or have them up for offer. You can sort by lowest price and just check out the floor. And then you can get yourself an Aavegotchi. Yeah. And there's all sorts of interesting traits. I'll just zoom into one here. So this is actually the cheapest absolute floor Aavegotchi right now, going for 410 Ghost. And let's see why. Its kinship score is 67. So it's getting pet. It's a happy Aavegotchi. And then you have these traits on the bell curve. And this is a lot of fun. We didn't go with like bigger number better. We love, memes and meme culture, and the bell curve is kind of the best meme out there, right? So if you're in the middle of this bell curve, that's what you don't want. That would be a 50, would be perfect in the middle. But if you're a 0, 1, 2, 3, you're over here on the left side of the bell curve, you're doing really good. And if you're a 98, 99, 100, you're over here. And it looks like this one has 89 for eye shape. So decent eyes. Let's check out the eyes. Yeah, very nice eyes. So I might pick it up. I'll sweep the floor and get this Aavegotchi. You can also get wearables for your Aavegotchi. These help to actually nudge those personality traits on the bell curve. Like this one is this basketball is +1 energy. So if you were to equip this basketball on your Aavegotchi, the on-chain metadata is dynamic. It would actually recognize that this NFT is bonded to this NFT, and the trait will thus move by +1 on the energy. So it's actually, +1 energy. And so you can also get our land from the first raffle. They're already, on the second-hand market here.
And Jess, the wearables, consumables, who creates them? Does the community have some input in what they would like to see their Aavegotchi dressed by?
Absolutely. So consumables, they have only been minted once at the very beginning, the very first time Aavegotchi's ever, there's 2 generations of Aavegotchi's. So in March of this year, we issued some consumables which let you boost your kinship or your XP if you consume them, and it basically burns the NFT after you use it. You can see the prices are relatively high on these because they're so rare. Going forward, you'll only be able to earn more of these if you play in the Gotchiverse. At the Gotchiverse, you'll have opportunities to go into dungeons and win more potions. But for the wearables, we've definitely had a ton of community input on the designs. We have an amazing head designer, Javier, but on Twitter, he's known as Xibot, XIBOT.ETH. And he's an OG crypto artist, one of the best pixel artists out there. And we were so lucky to connect with him at the beginning of this project. And he really dreamt up what an Aavegotchi looks like, the first generation of wearables. And for the most part, he does the final implementation of wearables. But there are a number of exceptions out there that are created by the community. So going forward, there's going to be even more of those because we're all about decentralizing and using Aavegotchi DAO. And so we just launched a wearables task force. And right now they're more of like a think tank, but over time they're going to get their own dashboard and be able to actually issue and specific wearables, design and issue wearables. So yeah, we're very big on kind of we have a 3-year roadmap for ultimate decentralization. And we really think of Aavegotchi as a protocol that anyone should be able to interact with and contribute to.
Okay, let's talk a bit about Polygon and the fact that you specifically decided to build on a layer 2 in order to make the overall user experience better because it's cheaper and it's just a much better space to create a project.
Yeah, we made that choice. We knew we were going to go to layer 2 from the beginning because petting an Aavegotchi, equipping other NFTs are on-chain transactions. And we knew nobody's going to pay $50 to $100 to pet their Aavegotchi every day. That would be a very bad UX. So for the nature of what we were building, we were like, this is back last year when really no layer 2s were live. And we were just like, we're going to be one of the first like perfect on-chain use cases for a layer 2. And we're very excited about that. And so we looked at all the options out there, and some of them were very intriguing, but they didn't have the interoperability we needed for something like our Aave tokens. So we knew we had to go with a partner, a layer that was easily, likely to bring over someone like Aave. And so we actually came over first in March of last year. We launched Aavegotchi NFTs on Polygon. And I think it was this summer, right, that Aave actually came over and deployed their entire platform as Polygon, a Polygon version. And so that was very rewarding to us. We were thrilled because that meant like we probably made the right choice. We were in the right place. And so our community has been super comfortable, very cozy on Polygon. And could Aavegotchi go super multi-chain someday? Absolutely. But right now we're building out Gotchiverse.io, and that's our second dApp. And that also completely happens on Polygon.
Okay, so these are all the places where you can get Ghost, which is the native token of the Aavegotchi ecosystem, right?
That's right. And I brought it up actually to point out that the bonding curve that issues the Ghost, we have a very pure, amazing initial instance of where Ghost comes from. It comes from a bonding curve, a smart contract, and we don't control that. And so it's all pre-programmed, and this bonding curve actually exists on Ethereum layer 1. So we started on layer 1 with the Ghost token on the bonding curve, and then those are bridged over to Polygon, and the majority have been bridged. So we have excellent liquidity on like QuickSwap and even SushiSwap with the Matic pair. And for sexes, we have Binance and Crypto.com and Kraken, and among many others. But these 3 we're very, very pleased with and get great volume on.
Listen, after Facebook announced the name change to Meta, how much Aavegotchi token went up?
That was just, we've had very lucky timing many times. And I'll show you like Gotchiverse.io. So this actually, the first auction of land that you mentioned, actually launched, I think day 1 was the day that Mark Zuckerberg renamed the company to Meta. So the timing of these things and just being in the kind of the moment with where everyone's heading, we were very lucky with that. So I think we're very tuned in. We've had the intention to do something like this for a long time. I'm a huge fan and longtime user of like crypto voxels, Decentraland, and we knew we wanted a home for Aavegotchis. And ours is a little different because it's more gamified than a lot of the other metaverses out there. We're more like a DeFi RPG. And so we're really looking forward to this. I mean, if you take a look at the map, like it's almost like Zillow or whatever property real estate website you'd use to find a house. It's like that, but dipped in acid or something. It's a lot of fun. So you can zoom in and get the parcel you want. And we try to gamify every aspect of, whether it's land or anything, it can actually become a game. So
Fantastic. So finally, I want to talk a bit about interoperability because it's very important for the community to make sure, they have a very good user experience when they are buying the token, when they are moving to Polygon, because they have, they have to move assets there in order to participate in the Aavegotchi ecosystem. So maybe we can talk a bit about how we can facilitate cross-chain transaction and who are the projects that you are working with that are helping your community?
Yeah, so that is really the biggest friction point, right? People who are on perhaps a normal exchange and then they want to, withdraw, they typically withdraw to Ethereum and then they say, okay, how do I get from Ethereum to Polygon? There's a number of bridges out there and, Polygon has theirs and it's very good if you're doing a large number like deep liquidity and they can support just about any size bridge. But Umbria Network would be another one I would mention that is just so user-friendly, and they have a kind of a unique approach because they basically reward people to provide liquidity on both sides of the bridge. And what that means is you can instantly move across the bridge. So typically it takes maybe 7 minutes to move your ghost tokens from Ethereum to Polygon. But if you use Umbria, it's literally like any other transaction. It's pretty much instant. And it's very satisfying. If somebody's like, oh, I want to get into this auction and I don't want to be late, use Umbria Network. So I believe it's umbria.network. They're really, really good.
Yeah, and you don't want to spend so much money to try because you have already the money there ready to buy the land, and then you realize, oh gosh, that's so much for gas fee that's there, and also time. It can take really long to get the assets from one chain to another chain.
Yeah, it's funny, like for some reason, 30 seconds isn't stressful, but when you see somebody say, oh, it's going to be 7 to 10 minutes or even longer, and then those 7 to 10 minutes are not enjoyable for your first time crossing a bridge. Like it just doesn't feel right. And so very stressful, but with Umbria, you don't have that. You avoid all of that. Yeah,
it's just all another story when you are able to have this kind of experience. Okay, so maybe as a last question, I know we mentioned about the auction land coming up. Is there anything else that you're looking forward within the development of your project?
I think there's a number of things I'm really excited about. The game is going to be a lot of fun. It's truly it's social, like a metaverse, like crypto voxels, but it's also a game with consequences. So you can win or lose or do better or not do better with your farming. So with an Aavegotchi, to bring a gotchi to life, you have to deposit some Aave generating tokens into the Aavegotchi. You put money into the piggy bank, right? Which encourages savings and it's good habits. And it's really cool. You have this NFT with value inside growing. But we thought, okay, for the Gotchiverse, we want to be as accessible as possible. So let's flip the script. Let's have an NFT. The parcel is an NFT, but you don't have to put anything inside it. Quite the opposite, where you have, by virtue of having that parcel, actually have X amount of ERC20 tokens inside of it, waiting for you to farm out of it. So it's really cool in that sense. It's like a DeFi farming game, and that if you've ever played Clash of Clans, you can think a bit about that. It's like a casual farming game where you're going to install harvesters on the surface of your land, and you're going to craft all these tools to extract the tokens from your parcel. And so this is really unique. It's taking advantage of some of the technologies we've experimented with before, like the ERC 998 standard is very seldom used by other projects. I don't know why. It's amazing, but it allows you to link all these different tokens together. And that's why we're able to do this. So just super excited about the potential for having a farming game that's settling everything completely on chain. And the other part that I really think is worth mentioning is our lending. So, NFTs, like their first use case is proving scarcity. And that can be fine. It's a very powerful thing to have digital scarcity. But we want to move beyond that. And when we're trying to build a game that's accessible to everybody, we don't want to have, Aavegotchi, just like we have two choices. We either mint like 1 million Aavegotchis, or we say, no, it's still rare. There's only 2 generations of Aavegotchis currently, about 15,000 total. 25,000 total. And what we came up with was on-chain lending. So imagine Uber or Airbnb or your favorite sharing economy if it was on-chain, but instead of renting a car, you're renting an Aavegotchi. And so I own an Aavegotchi. You don't own an Aavegotchi, but you want to go into the game and farm and play to earn and extract all these tokens. Well, now you can do that with zero capital upfront because it's just like Uber. I list my Aavegotchi for rent. I'm saying it's available for an 8-hour duration. There's no fee up front, but we do a split on whatever you earn while you're in there, 20/80. And then you go in, you play the game. You can't steal my Aavegotchi. Yeah.
I get 80 and you get 20, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I only get 20. And because if I set it the other way, I don't think anyone will rent my Aavegotchi.
No, exactly.
So the market will decide. You could set it to any setting you want. And it's all programmed in the smart contract. So it's super secure. And we think it's going to be an absolutely huge innovation for play to earn gaming because nobody's done this yet. And the reason we're able to do that is every element you're collecting in the game is an ERC20 token. Every Aavegotchi is an NFT ERC721. And we've got the smart contracts to pull it all together.
When are we going to be able to do that?
Yeah, so that's going to go live here either the very end of the year, like right after Christmas, but then between holidays and audits, it might be January. We'll have a date here soon. Okay. But coming soon, that'll be the alpha, and it'll be very focused on the core gameplay. We love to iterate. So it comes in phases, but the first farmers will definitely be live, I believe, by January at the latest.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, Jess, listen, it's been great to have you on the show. Anybody that is not familiar with Aavegotchi or want to ask you a question, where should they go?
They should go to Aavegotchi.com. Also check out Gotchiverse.io. That's where the kind of the hub and the FAQ is for everything about the Gotchiverse. And we also have an amazing community that runs all sorts of different websites I could give a shout out to, but I'll just do the wiki. There's the wiki.aavegotchi.com. And that is a very well-maintained wiki about all things Aavegotchi. And of course, there's Telegram, but our Discord is the big kind of headquarters for Aavegotchi DAO and what we like to call Gotchi Gang. So come on by the Discord. It's just discord.gg/Aavegotchi.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jess.
Thank you so much. Hope to come back soon.
All right. I really hope that you enjoy my conversation with Jess like I did, and you also learn something new today. And perhaps I got you interested in trying some play-to-earn games and Aavegotchi maybe. So if you have any question, don't hesitate to send me an email at steffy@financialfox.news or hit me on social media, send me a DM there. And don't forget, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel and podcast, click the subscribe button and follow us on social media to stay up to date with our news and interviews. I will see you next time.